you know, cover up for those people.
Serve the patriarchy.
Exactly.
Let's get into some myths about male sexuality. Okay. There's a very interesting study that was recently published. These researchers, Sarah Hunter Murray and Lori Brotto, published a piece in the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy, and they interviewed 300 straight men between the ages of 18 to 65 for 6 months, and they were mostly white and straight, but they did range in age and also relationship status, so single, married, kids, divorced, etc. And so here's a quote from one of the researchers. Current sexual scripts for heterosexual relationships in the Western world stipulate that men should be the ones to initiate sexual activity, push to the next level of physical intimacy, and to desire women, and not to be desirable themselves. At the same time, they report that while there is some evidence that sexual scripts may be evolving over time, there is little research on men's need to be desired. So what this study goes into is flipping the sexual script on its head and focusing on what men want and what men
do
need.
men want?
No one gives a fuck. I'm just kidding. They do. It is important to acknowledge what men want, because this will break like a toxic male sexual script that puts the onus of being pleasing and sexually pleasing on women and making it equal to one another. Women should not be the ones who have to please in bed. It's both partners should be ready and available to please, because that's what makes a successful relationship.
And this was specifically like focused on desire.
Yeah. And like
so the idea is that, like, I think in dating as well, there's an idea that men pursue and women are pursued. And it's like, well, men want to be pursued too.
Men want to be like,
they want to be desired.
Yeah, they want you
like
to
a
text them
little
too.
gazelle.
They want
that
some
you
flowers
hunt down for its meat.
They want to feel wanted, and I have a personal experience with this. So all these results really resonate with me. So here's what they found regarding the importance of desire. On whether feeling desired is very important to them, 95% of these men said yes. Feeling desired is as essential and as important as sleeping. Some said if they're not desired, they lose their libido because of their self-esteem. They don't feel wanted.
Sense.
And with my ex, when I realized that he was never going to go down on me, I became resentful. And
which makes sense.
You know, just like, yeah, and I didn't know how to explain to him what I wanted yet. And we've talked about this, you know, I think with Dr. Emily Morse. She was like, you have to talk to your partners in a positive way. Don't tell them what they're doing wrong. But
the compliment sandwich.
But tell them like what you want them to be doing or so. So all I think he was getting from me was like, he's not pleasuring me well enough. So then he thought he had to last longer. But like this stupid little idiot boy doesn't understand that the whole thing was I needed my clit stimulated, not my internal.
Right. And if you're not communicating that.
And again, I didn't know how. So then he started to feel like sex was a chore. He felt that I
Which is never how you
did not feel like he was good enough. And then he would come really quickly because he had all that anxiety. And then there was a period of a few months where we just really weren't having sex. And I was freaking out and we just weren't talking about it. And it was this whole bad thing. And so he wasn't feeling desired. I wasn't feeling desired. We didn't know how to talk about it. And it was bad. So that makes sense. And then 12% of these men also said that they could not answer the question on what is the importance of how important desire is to them because they felt no desire from their partner at the time. Yeah. So they were just like, I can't answer that.
Like, I don't even know.
And
never
then
met her.
When it comes to how they want to be desired, this is a little interesting or very interesting. 40% of men say that verbal expressions are very important. 17% say they like to be complimented. 40% like dirty talk. some of them, lower minority, get horny just from communication from their partner, and that also increases. So if this is all speaking cis het relationships, when the woman explains what she wants and all, that not only increases her sexual satisfaction, but also increases the man's satisfaction. Then 12% of men said they like a sultry look from a woman, like some saucy
as we've discussed
eyes.
before.
Exactly. 34% say they like non-sexual romantic touches. So they just want like a little, like a nudge of a little touch.
Just a little something to prove that
An
you're still
arm
interested.
rub, like a little snuggle, a quick kiss. And those kinds of touches let them know that they're wanted not just for their penis, but for their mind.
Yeah, well, everyone
Men
wants
are
to
just
feel
like us.
appreciated. Yeah, men just like us. I think it's true. I think that, like, in terms of like talking about equal rights, a theme for the news is just like, yeah, men want to be treated like fucking people, and like it's part of sexism that we look at men and we're like, you're a meat stick. And it's like, if you don't cater to your like partner, your male partner's emotions, you're not actually connecting with him.
No,
like, they are people.
You are putting yourself in that pleasing actor role,
right.
And then the men as sort of like the judges, the audience, and that
right.
all of these attitudes that happen. I mean, men feel forced into that role, and
Absolutely.
women feel forced into this role, but really everyone just wants to be cuddled and kissed held on the cheek and the forehead.
Yeah, we need, and I think just like in relationships, it's about providing safe spaces for everyone to express how they're feeling.
Communication here seems to be like that's what men really want.
Well,
women feel too afraid to do it. Men don't know how.
Right. Well, and I think too, like, especially like I've dated men who are very out of touch with their emotions, and it was really frustrating for me because I think I seek masculinity in physicality, but the femininity in emotional expression.
Yeah.
And
totally,
to use like very gender biased terms for that. But like, it was a real issue with my previous relationship where I was like, I never felt like I was fully connecting with him because he wouldn't let me get beneath that surface. And I think it's because of the way that we raise men, where we are telling them constantly, like, shove it inside of you.
Exactly.
Don't feel emotion. And now every day with Hunter, I'm like, cry for me.
It's
cry
so
for
hot.
me, you big baby.
So
and he's like, I'm not going to cry for you.
The older you get, the more you realize that men
are just big old babies.
The messages that you were fed that men are hunters. I mean, they are hunters. Hunter. That men are to be the opposite of us. No, we are the same. Men might be like biologically stronger than us, and we might have a little more fat on our butts, but inside of our
fat hearts, we're still the same.
We're still the fucking same. So just a couple more stats.
Oh, my bad. I thought those was
no
crap.
20% of men just wanted their partner to be enthusiastic about sex. So like, yeah, get it. And then in terms of satisfaction, only 12.1% of these men felt sexually desired by their partner, and 88% wanted to be desired more.
You want to know how you could be desired more? Give us orgasms.
I think the onus is on everybody to create safe spaces for each other.
But I will say, I think that in terms of like feeling desired, mutually desired relationships are going to be mutually beneficial relationships.
Men have to step up more to the plate.
That if we see more women have orgasms, more men would probably feel desired, because you know what? I'm going to be a lot more willing to do sex with a man
and feel safe.
Feeding me an O.
Exactly. Yeah.
Feeding me some.
There's just a lot of lot of work that's got to be done so everyone can feel safe.